It's going to hit the truck. It's going to hit the truck. Look, but it'll probably go to the side. Oh, I hope not. Oh, we're going to go up in the attic. We have to, guys. We came quick. Love y'all.
Hey yo, Hurricane Helene has been wreaking havoc in the whole southeast region of the country over the last few days. I just wanted to touch on it. As you see, the death toll is now over 125 people. First of all, let me say rest in peace to all the people that have perished in this hurricane. Everybody that's been affected, prayers to everybody. I know that there's a lot of people that have no kind of communication. There's people that are trapped in their houses. Some people have lost their houses completely.
Oh
This hurricane is being called a once-in-a-lifetime type of event. Others are calling it a 1 in 1,000 years type of event. Others are even saying it's a biblical type of thing. And what's crazy is that the media is not giving it the type of coverage that it deserves. Okay, this is reminiscent of Hurricane Katrina. And we're not hearing much about it. We're not seeing much about it as far as the mainstream goes. Maybe that'll start to change soon, but I'm seeing a lot of videos floating around on the internet. When will President Biden or Kamala Harris decide to go to these sites to visit these people to at least, at the very least, lend them a little bit of hope? Some people have lost everything and have nothing to go back to, and President Biden and VP Harris have not been to these places yet. As far as I've seen via the public records, President Biden is on vacation in Delaware. And VP Harris is over there in California. And still, to right now, neither one of them has made a visit to any of these places affected by this hurricane. Now, we will see over the next few days and weeks if the federal government decides to do anything about this. Biden is still the sitting president, believe it or not, and Kamala Harris is having aspirations of becoming the next president in a short few months, short few weeks as of the recording of the video. This is going to affect this country for years to come. These places, some of these places are going to have to be totally rebuilt from the ground up. All right, and do we have the money? I think America has the money, but we're too busy sending it all over the world. We're sending billions of dollars here, billions of dollars to Ukraine, billions of dollars to Taiwan. We got more money going to Iran. We got more money going to Israel. We got money tied up in all of these wars and potentially wars that could come. How are we going to fix up America? We already have sky-high inflation. We already have all the problems that we know are going on in this country. All right, we have the southern border where millions and millions of people are in this country illegally. We don't know who they are. Now we're finding out that some of these people were convicted felons, convicted R-words, convicted deleters in their country. We're also finding out that,
well, a disturbing development on the border crisis. Wait until you hear this. The Director of Immigration and Customs Enforcement confirms that more than 13,000 illegal immigrants convicted of murder have been caught at the border and then released into the United States.
Now here I have two clips. All right, they're taken a few days apart. All right, the first one is going to be President Biden sending more money overseas to Ukraine.
I'm proud to announce a new $2.4 billion package of security assistance.
All right, $2.4 billion to Ukraine without even thinking twice about it. Now let's see what he says when he's questioned about sending money to the places affected by the hurricane.
Are there any more resources the federal government could be giving them?
No, we've given them, we have pre-planned a significant amount of it, even though they didn't ask for it yet.
You heard that. And this is par for the course when it comes to this administration. Americans last. When asked if he would send more aid to the places affected, he said no. Now, I do understand they probably have money that's allocated to go towards this type of relief effort, but if he doesn't know how much it could cost, and it is America and Americans that are being affected, I mean, should he say that he's not going to put any more money towards it if a reason comes up that they need more funding? For him to say that he's not going to do that. But Joe Biden has, throughout his whole presidency, sent money throughout the world. He stopped drilling here in America so that we would have to buy oil from overseas. You can't tell me that that's cheaper than when we were farming it ourselves. So the whole world can get rich. But God forbid, a natural event, disaster in this case, happened where Americans are the ones affected. No. You just get whatever money has been put aside for you and not a penny more. If you think it's the federal government's job to take care of you or keep you safe or anything that you would think most countries do, this administration has shown that it's not going to do that. They would just have you pay into a system. But when Americans actually need the funding that they've been paying into, nah, man, they don't want to pay that. That's communist to them. To them, that's actually communism.
Counting down till MAGA Republicans in Florida become socialists, begging for taxpayer handouts so they can rebuild in 3, 2, 1.
Now, here we have a post on X by Benny Johnson. Shout out to him and all the work that he does. All right, but we have former President Trump actually doing something. He started up a GoFundMe to support Hurricane Helene victims, in which he's raised so far, and it still is accumulating even past this post. But he has $725,450 out of $1 million goal, and this was a little bit over 2 hours ago as of recording right now. So that could very well be at $1 million, if not over $1 million. But why has the federal government not done anything? Why are Americans, having to pay for this? Everyone from FEMA to every nonprofit organization should be out there, boots on the ground, helping out Americans. We already pay into the federal government with our taxes. That's what this is for. It's not for Trump to be visiting these places because he's not the sitting president, while President Biden is sitting on vacation, relaxing in a lounge chair in Delaware or in a beach chair in Delaware. And Kamala Harris is on the other side of the country on a campaign tour. I understand the elections are coming up, but there are Americans right here. Regardless of politics, she should be making these visits, but if she wanted it to look good on optics alone, it would look good for her to be there. It might get her a few votes here and there because she's boots on the ground. She could even turn it into a whole designer thing where, she's wearing some like Balenciaga boots or like, some designer rain trench coat or something like that, turn it into something. But her campaign doesn't even have the sense to think that far ahead. Meanwhile, you have President Trump and Elon Musk, two citizens as of right now, okay? Neither one of them hold any political office. Two citizens that are, trying to team up to get some sort of comms back in these areas affected.
Homes, hospitals, highways, and cars have been plunged underwater. Entire neighborhoods have been turned into lakes. Nobody's seen anything like it. And to every family that's been displaced here in Georgia and North Carolina, which has really been hit. We were going there also, and they don't have communication. They don't have anything right now. We're trying to. I just spoke to Elon. I'm getting him. We want to get Starlink hooked up because they have no communication whatsoever. And Elon will always come through. We know that.
In closing, rest in peace to everyone who has passed away. The sheer destruction that Hurricane Helene has, brought to the southeast region of the country is crazy. Prayers to all of the families affected, whether you lost a loved one. Prayers to everyone that's down there that has not been found yet. I hope that these rescue teams are able to find these people and able to find them alive. We have not seen a hurricane of this magnitude, I don't think, since Katrina. Some people are even saying that this is a biblical once in a lifetime type of event. And it's sad that, it affected us like this. Now other people are going down rabbit holes of, this is, ending days, and that's a whole different conversation. But what do you think about the federal response to these places so far? Do you think that they have been doing enough? Do you think enough funding has been sent to these places so far? Enough manpower has been sent there? Because they're going to need a lot of boots on the ground to go into these places. They're going to need a lot of boats in the water, probably cadaver dogs even, depending on how long this goes. And what do you think of the future for these places? Will they be able to rebuild how they were, or rebuild even better than they were? Especially as we continue to send money around the world. We send it in the millions and billions around the world at a time. And will we actually have the federal funding to reinvest into America and Americans? What do you think about Biden and Kamala not even being to any of these places yet? Trump's actually made a few visits. And what about the mainstream media not covering this story? Okay, it's not getting the coverage that it should be. They're not holding Biden and Kamala accountable, being the sitting president and vice president. Trump, who's not the current president, has done more than the current administration. In the very least, he's at least there, boots on the ground, lending hope.
Thanks so much.
Just a lack of respect and empathy for the American public. We've seen this throughout her whole presidential campaigns. All right, she doesn't answer questions. She doesn't go off the script. She's not going to answer any of these questions because they haven't pre-written out an answer for her. Everything that she was going to say, she said was on these papers in front of her. This is a woman that just doesn't have any answers. Every time she's asked questions, she doesn't have the answers. This is the look that you get. And this is who people think is ready to lead America. All right, we just had a storm hit. This is who you think is ready to lead the country. All right, we're not even talking about wars. We're not even talking about foreign policies. We're not talking about meeting with foreign leaders. We're talking about handling something in America that's affecting Americans. We got to rebuild up parts of America, send relief there. This is what she thinks about the public when they ask her questions. But we'll see what happens as more information continues to develop over the next days and weeks in terms of what has actually happened during this catastrophe and what this administration plans to do. And I hope that they have a plan in place that benefits the people that are living there and is not going to just, run up the cost of living or something. I mean, with these people, I don't put anything past them. But that's all I really got to say on it. Till the next video, y'all be safe and stay wavy.